It's time for step 3. So you've already done step 1, which is create your freebie. You've done step 2, which was to create the form where they sign up. Now we're on to step 3. You're going to connect your freebie to your form so you can deliver it with a workflow. So we're back in Flowdesk. Flowdesk is the service that I like, the service that I really find very intuitive, very easy to use. It's also incredibly reasonable. If you didn't notice, in the description in the last video and in the description in this video, I'll drop my 50% off code. There is no cap to subscribers. There's no extra fees for sending more emails or having a bigger list. What you pay is what you pay each month, which is really nice. So you don't have to be afraid about your list getting too big and it being too expensive. It just is. Okay, so my code for 50% off for each month is Ashley Mick, ASHLEYMIK, and then you're just locked into that price. So up here in the top, emails, audience, forms, workflows. Remember, forms is where we created that sign-up form. We're going to go to workflows. And a workflow is a fancy name for a sequence or a series of emails. Lots of times you will probably hear this called a sequence, but it's just saying this thing happens, then this thing happens, then this thing happens. It's like a series of events that all occur within your email service. So we are going to create a new workflow. And our purpose for this workflow is once somebody signs up using the form we created, they get the freebie that we want to give them, right? We said, hey, sign up for this and I'll give you this thing. So we need to follow through on that. So over here, when you click on create a new workflow, they have workflows created for you already to use. We're going to use the one that's called lead magnet delivery. If you remember, lead magnet is another name for your freebie or your email opt-in. And that's exactly what we want, right? We want to deliver it to them. So we'll click view details and we're going to customize this workflow. So this workflow we're looking for is just 2 steps. They get added to the list, they get their freebie. So we're going to add a trigger. What's going to make this whole workflow start? A subscriber is added to the segments. This is the segment we created in the last video. So whatever your opt-in is. So what this means is when a subscriber signs up for this form, they're going to get this email. Okay, so let's look at this email and we'll edit it to make sure it's got everything that we need. All right, so in Flowdesk, you can set up some things so that they're always in all of your emails. So like my logo is up here in my Instagram and that information is all down there. But even though I'm using a template from somebody else, all of those things are in there. So let's look at the information in this email that we need to make sure is good, right? Because everyone loves a freebie, that's fine. This little text is saying, hey, remember you signed up for this freebie about this thing. Make sure you change those words. It would be a good idea to change this paragraph to be your voice. Because for me personally, I would never say, that freebie download I promised ya. I would say I promised you about whatever my freebie was. It's right here. Again, I wouldn't say email marketing bliss. I would, use a different line, change the paragraph to sound like you because, right, it's your email to your people. So you want to make sure they know it's coming from you. This is a spot where they're going to click to get it. So this is the example opt-in that they're delivering 5 tips for better open rates. We're going to pretend like our freebie is 5 tips for classroom management. Okay, the essential guide I wish I had when I first started out. That's perfect. Okay, over here on the right is the text menu. So drop cap, center, left align, right align, font color, which font, how bolder, all of that sort of stuff. You can also change the layout. Flowdesk has a lot of beautiful options for building their emails. So you could, write a little gift of thanks for joining the list. Boom, that's where you could put your picture again. There's lots and lots and lots of options you could do. This one works perfectly for what we're looking for though. So we're going to go ahead and leave it at that. 5 tips for classroom management. Essential guide I wish I had when I first started out. Works really well. Click to download. Super importante. This is the biggest piece of this whole step. You need to make sure this button works. So you're going to click the button and then over here on the right where it says link, you have 2 options for delivering your file. You can either give them a link or you can attach a file. So if you host your freebies on YouTube or if you have like a Google Drive file or a doc library, what's that? Whatever your cloud service is called. So if you use something other than Google Drive, I'm totally blanking on what that other cloud service is right now. You could do a sharing link there, or you can just upload the PDF and they can download the PDF right here in their email. That's really nice. The biggest thing you need to make sure you do I have a link? Yep, okay, down here, you see where it says unsaved, saving, saved. Do not click out of this box until you see that it says saved, okay? Because otherwise, the link won't go anywhere. It won't have saved the link. So let's click out of it. And let's just see, is this link still there? Yep. Okay, we're just double checking that link is good. Okay, then down at the bottom, you're signing off and you're signing your name. And then, yep, all that stuff is good. Cool. If you would like to, this button previews it on a computer. This is what your email would look like on mobile. This button makes it one of your favorite emails. So if you wanted to like reuse this email over and over again, you could save it to your favorites. And if you're like, I really want to make sure it works perfectly, you can send a test email to yourself so you can make sure it works, all the links work, everything works exactly as you want it to before you actually publish it. So that's a really handy button. Okay, let's click finish and we'll show you what the next steps are. Okay, so again, they sign up, they get this email. We just want to make sure over here on the right, there's one more detail you can change. You can add the subject line, open up for your free download, okay? Or open up for your freebie or for your tips or whatever you want to say. Preview text, that first little line that shows up in an email, that's what that is. You might want to remind them what it was that they signed up for. 5 classroom management tips. I wish I'd known. Blah, 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 right? You can see you still have 44 characters remaining. You can do a dot, dot to be like, it's more inside, okay? That's all. That is all you need to have because here they sign up, here they get the freebie. That's the end. If you really, really want the bare minimum, I'm just gathering emails, this is it. You click publish, you're done, okay? If you want to do more, what you could do next, here is where you say plus. You could add them to, well, let's give them a little time. So a time delay just means how much time between this step and this step occurs. It's good to give them a little bit of time because you want them to have time to open this email. So give them a little bit of time, and then let's take an action. Let's add subscribers to your welcome sequence, right? If you have a welcome sequence, if you want to give them more emails, that would be the next step after you've done the bare basics of freebie, form, workflow in this course. Your next step would be to create your welcome sequence that says, hey, this is who I am. This is what I have to offer you. You know, you're kind of getting them used to knowing you. You could add them to your welcome sequence of emails. That would be the next thing that I would recommend. But again, email basics, bare minimum, starting your list. This is it. Create your freebie, create your form, connect the two with a workflow. Boom, boom. Click publish. Are you sure? Yes, I am. Now we're done. That's it. Actually, not really. I have one more set of tips for you last video, and I will see you there.